Saya Delis Pratika, dosen tetap pada Program Studi Pendidikan Bahasa Inggris, Fakultas Keguruan dan Ilmu Pendidikan, Universitas Palangkaraya. Pada kesempatan ini, izinkan saya menyampaikan pernyataan diri dosen dalam unjuk kerja Tridharma Perguruan Tinggi, khususnya di bidang pengajaran pada mata kuliah Introduction to Linguistics. Mata kuliah ini berbobot 3 SKS. Introduction to Linguistics merupakan mata kuliah dasar yang membekali mahasiswa dengan pengalaman mengenai linguistik sebagai ilmu yang mengkaji tentang bahasa secara ilmiah. Metode yang digunakan dalam pengajaran ini adalah case-based learning dengan model luring. Dalam proses pembelajaran, saya menerapkan pendekatan student-centered learning dengan mengombinasikan ceramah interaktif, diskusi kelompok, tanya jawab, analisis data bahasa, dan presentasi hasil diskusi. Melalui kegiatan tersebut, mahasiswa tidak hanya memperoleh pemahaman konseptual, tetapi juga mengembangkan kemampuan berpikir kritis, analitis, komunikasi, dan kolaborasi. CPL mata kuliah ini disesuaikan dengan standar kurikulum pendidikan tinggi yang mencakup aspek-aspek sebagai berikut. Selanjutnya, CPL tersebut diturunkan menjadi 2 CPMK. Pertama, lulusan mampu menjelaskan konsep-konsep dasar linguistik bahasa Inggris, ruang lingkup kajiannya, serta keterkaitan antara bahasa, pikiran, budaya, dan masyarakat berdasarkan teori linguistik yang relevan. Kedua, lulusan mampu menganalisis data kebahasaan bahasa Inggris pada berbagai tingkat analisis linguistik, yaitu mikrolinguistik, makrolinguistik, dan linguistik terapan dengan menggunakan konsep dan teori yang tepat. Kedua CPMK tersebut kemudian diturunkan ke dalam sub CPMK yang dikemas dalam 16 pertemuan yang terdiri dari 14 pertemuan tatap muka, 1 pertemuan UTS, dan 1 pertemuan UAS. Materi perkuliahan pada mata kuliah Introduction to Linguistics adalah sebagai berikut. Dalam penyusunan materi perkuliahan, saya mengacu pada referensi yang berkaitan dengan Introduction to Linguistics sebagai berikut. Komponen penilaian pada mata kuliah Introduction to Linguistics terbagi dalam 4 aspek, yaitu partisipasi sebesar 10%, penugasan mandiri dan terstruktur sebesar 10%, ujian tengah semester sebesar 30%, dan ujian akhir semester sebesar 50%. Kelulusan mahasiswa mengacu pada panduan akademik Universitas Palangkaraya. Berikut adalah rubriknya. Selanjutnya, saya akan mendemonstrasikan salah satu materi perkuliahan dalam cabang fonologi sesuai dengan rencana pembelajaran semester. Berikut adalah cuplikannya. Good morning everyone.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Good.
Okay, glad to know that you're good today. Before we start the lesson, shall we take a prayer? Yes. Okay, prayer begin. Finished. All right. Is there anyone absent today? No one? Okay, everybody's here. But before that, let me put your attendance on Silver. All right then. Can you remind us what did we learn last week? Yes, please.
Phonetics.
Phonetics. Okay. What does phonetic talk about? Anyone answer?
How to produce sounds.
Perfect. Okay. Phonetics is a branch of linguistics that how to produce sounds. Right. But today we are going to learn about another branch of linguistics, which is phonology. Okay, phonology. Let's move to the objective. In today's lesson, we will talk about 2 objectives: to learn how speech sounds are organized. Remember, in phonetics, we learn how to produce sounds. In phonology, we learn how to organize the sound. And the second objective is to identify the distribution of English sounds. In the previous lesson, we talked a little bit about the difference between phonetic and phonology. Does anyone remember? Okay, if you don't remember, let me brush up with you all together. Phonology is another branch of linguistics that focuses on the organization of sounds by studying the speech patterns. Okay, there are 2 keywords for phonology. What are they? Still remember?
Distribution and
patterning. Okay. Why do you need to learn phonology? To determine the sound patterns of all the language. Okay. By learning phonology, we don't only know how to organized sounds in English, but also in every other language. Yeah, every language has its own sound system, and it's called phonology. Okay, can you follow me here? Yes. Okay, let's move on. English sounds, there are two kinds of English sounds. There are two categories. The first one is vowels. Yeah, in Indonesian we call it vokal, huruf, bunyi hidup. Yeah, and we also have consonants atau bunyi mati. We call it in Indonesian. Okay, there are three categories for vowels. We have monophthong, diphthong, and triphthong. Can you guess how many sound in monophthong? One. This mono means one. What about diphthong? Two. What about triphthong? Three. Okay, in Indonesian we only have monophthong and diphthong, but in English we have triphthong. Yeah. Okay, for consonants, it only has two categories, which is monophthong and consonant clusters. So here is English vowels. In 2014, I conducted a research and found that there are 14 phonemes or sounds in English. The English vowels that I use in my research is based on RP, received pronunciation, the dialect that the native use in England. It was pioneered by Jones in his book English Pronouncing Dictionary. So it might be a little bit different from the English that you hear. Do you hear more American or British these days? American. Yeah, it might be a little bit different from what you hear because this one is received pronunciation, but you might mostly hear general American. Yeah. From my research, I found out there are 9 short vowels and 3 long vowels. Let's take a look at the position. Here is the position. Am I too fast? No. Okay, great. Tell me if I explain it too fast. Okay? Okay, so here's the position. How many positions can you see there? There are 6. Okay. From the front, central, back, and then high, mid, and low. Okay, so this is the position of your tongue. In the previous meeting, we talked about IPA. Yeah, IPA, and you might know a little bit of this because we practiced. Now it's time for me to remind you how to pronounce it. Okay, start from the very front, high. Okay, let me go there. Okay, let's start from here. Pronounce with me together. Okay, E. Let me find another example. This is a Japanese word, pite. You know, pite. Not pitik, but pite. Right. This one's E. This one Right. And this one, it might sound similar, but it's different. It's different sound. Yeah. Okay. This one Yeah, we call it swur in English, swur, but in Indonesia we call it epepet. Mengapa, karena, right? It's yeah. And let's move to a little bit to the back and lower your tongue. We have Okay. Move to the front, low. We have Yeah. In the word cat. Yeah. And in the word man. Yeah. It's not man, but man. Right. And this one is the lowest one, back and low. Pull your tongue a little bit and put it very, very low. Right. Okay, so those are English short vowels. The difference between short vowels and long vowels, you just need to elongate a little bit. Yeah. For example, here we have E, U, O, A. Okay, so those are 14 monophthongs or vowels in English. Next, let's move to diphthongs. Diphthongs in English, according to my research, there are 8 diphthongs. A. Okay. All right. Let's say it together. Yeah. A. O. I. Ow. Oi. Ear. L. Right. Is it difficult for you? A little bit, yeah. Yeah, if you say it one by one, it might be easier, but when you say it in a real word, it might be difficult. For English diphthongs, we classified that into rising and falling diphthongs. So there are 5 diphthongs that classified into rising, and then the other remaining 3 are falling diphthongs. You can see the diphthong position here. The diphthong position. Why is it called rising? Because we move from the bottom to the top. For example, O to E. Oi. Yeah, that's rising. That's rising. Oi. And then if you want to say, if you want to have a falling one, let's see. E, it's falling from the high to the mid. E. Right. Okay, so that's a diphthong. Move to another category of vowel. We have English triphthong. In the beginning, we talked that you guess that triphthong has 3 sounds, right? But it is not random. Actually, it is not random. It has a pattern. According to my research, there are 5 triphthongs in English. We have aye, awe, aye, oye, and ewe. Okay, can you see the pattern here? What are they made of? Diphthong and phoneme. That's right. Diphthong and phoneme what? Correct. Okay, so that's the pattern of triphthong. We combine diphthong and can you read the example for aye? Anybody? Yes, please. Layer. Correct. That's great. Thank you. Layer. Correct. Next. Viola? Yes.
Fire.
Fire. Correct. Fire. What about here? Pigo, please. The third one. Royal. Correct. Any other volunteer? Next one. Mingus? You can repeat after me. Mower. Okay. Mower. And the last one. You might be familiar with this one. At the back? Yeah, you? Flower. Correct. Flower. Okay. So English diphthong is not that difficult actually. As long as we know the pattern, you will pronounce it correctly. Okay. Is there any question before we move? No? Okay. Clear enough? Okay. If it is clear, let's move on to English consonants. We have 24 consonants in English, and some of them might be a problem to us Indonesians, yeah, especially in fricative and affricate. Okay, let's repeat after me. Let's start from the very beginning. P, b, t, d, k, g. Okay, you see the difference? The vibration, correct, the vibration. The sound that is not vibrating, it's called voiceless. But if it is it's voiced, yeah, there's a vibration. You can put your hand on your throat here. See? There's a vibration. Okay. Next one. We have the. Put your tongue behind your teeth. Like in a word, yeah. Like in a word, think. Not think, but think. Right. Another sound. Yes. Okay, this one. Sh. Yeah, it's a combination between s and y. Sh. And the other one is the combination between z and y. Yeah, in the word measure. Yeah, measure. Not measure, but measure. Right. Next, we have, this one is easy. Like you relax. Okay, next we have affricate palatal velar. ch and j. Sh. Okay, do you know Cinta Laura? How does she say her name? Cinta, right? Right, Cinta. It's not Cinta. She doesn't say Cinta because there's no sound ch in her first language. Yeah, there's no sound ch, so it's not Cinta. It's Cinta. Okay, so that's why. Yeah. Next one, I think you're familiar with this. The rest of the sound because it's already in Indonesian too. We have L, R, M, N, W, and Y. Yeah, are you familiar with the remaining? Yes. Okay. Which sound do you think most difficult? Z. Z. Yeah. For me, the most difficult is J. Like measure, azure, beige. It's not beige. Do you know beige? The word beige? Here. It's not beige. Probably you will use this one at the end of the word. But actually, you use this. Beige. Yeah, beige. It's kind of difficult for my Indonesian tongue. Okay, so that's English consonant, yeah. Next, we move to consonant clusters. In my research, I found that there are 15 cluster patterns, yeah, either as the final or as the initial in the position, in syllable or in a word. Please be mindful with consonant clusters because English consonant cluster has a fixed pattern. Yeah. If you interchange that, it might result in different meaning or even meaningless. For example, we have two there. Tax and task. Can you tell me the difference between those two? K and us. That's right. There are sounds k and us at the end, and then the other one s and k. Okay, s and k. Tax and task. Okay, what is the meaning of the first word? Tax. Pajak. That's right, pajak. And the second one? Tugas. Okay, you interchange the sound, you also interchange the meaning. So please be mindful. Next one, here are the result of my research. Yeah, there are 15 clusters that I found. It can be as the initial position. It can also appear at the end of the syllable or the word. Let's see. Can you give me an example of the word that starts with SPL? I'll go first. Split. Can anybody? Split? Splinter. That's right. Splinter. Anybody else? Splash. Right. Okay. Splash. What about at the end? What about at the end? L and D. Something that ends with L and D. Land. Oh, it's N and D, yeah? That's fine. Old. That's right. Old. Bold. Right? Bold. Yeah. Cold. Yeah. Cold. Gold. Right? There's a lot. Okay. Something that is start with STR. Strength. Okay, strength. Straight. Struggling. Yes, struggling. Right. Struggle. Right. Okay, so those are consonant clusters. One or two consonants that are put together and you say it without any obstruction. Yeah, there's a lot. Okay, that was the end of the material. Any question before we move to the practice? No. Okay. If you have no question, then let's practice. As you know, sound has three positions in a syllable or a word. Yeah. The first one is initial, medial, and final. What is initial? At the beginning, incorrect. What about medial? In the middle, and final? Okay, at the end of the syllable. Now let's see. We have three words here. We have go, again, and back. I want you to take a notice there where the sound g take place. Yeah. Where is the g in the first word? G. Initial. Okay, correct. It's in the initial position. What about again? Middle. Okay, so it's in the middle, and then the final one is back. Yeah, it's put at the end of the word or the syllable. Okay, from here, do you have questions? Because your group activity will have things to do with this. Yeah. No question? No. All right. Let's move to the group activity then. Sound distribution analysis. At the end of the activity, you will be able to identify the distribution of English sounds, and you will determine whether a sound can occur in the initial, medial, or final, yeah, in a word. So the instruction, I want you to form groups, 3 to 4 students, or maximum 5 maybe, yeah, maximum 5. And each group will receive one, one sound from me, yeah, one sound from me. After that, I want you to find 10 sounds in the dictionary. Do you bring your phone? If you bring your phone, you can open your dictionary online. You can open Oxford, Collins, Cambridge, whatever legitimate dictionary, yeah. But I recommend you to use Oxford because it has 2 dialects there. You can choose British or American, but I really recommend the British one. Okay, and after that, I'd like you to transcribe them. After that, please identify the position like we did earlier. Draw a conclusion about the sound distribution. I will give you a guidance after this. There will be a guidance to draw the conclusion and present your analysis in front of the classroom. Okay, let me check your understanding first. Okay, what do you need to do first? Form a group. Okay, form a group. And how many sound that you will receive? One. Okay, one sound. Who will give it?
The lecturer.
The lecturer. Okay, the lecturer. How many sounds do you need to find? 10 sounds. After that, what do you do? Okay. Transcribe the sound, identify the position, and then draw the conclusion. Okay. And last one? Present. Correct. Any question? Do you get it? What do you need to do? Okay, so here is the discussion questions for your guide to your conclusion later. Okay. So for the sound, group 1 will analyze sound sh, and then group 2 will analyze sound the. Group 3 will analyze sound and group 4 will analyze the sound th. Okay? Now, oh yeah, we haven't formed a group, right? Here is the group 1, here is the group 2, here is the group 4, and you will be the group, 3, this will be the group 4, okay? Okay, here's your worksheet. Okay, you have 15 minutes. You have 15 minutes to do your task. Okay, let's begin. It's the same. Okay, everybody, time's up. Stop working. Everybody, time's up. Stop working. Okay, now it's time for the presentation. I'd like group 1 to go first, please.
Okay, we are from group 1. So we are found 10 words.
What are they?
It's sh,
Yeah, sure.
it's she, sheep, shoe, short, show, machine, nation, ocean, fish, and dish.
Okay, you pronounce it nicely. That's great.
Thank you so much.
Okay, what about the first question for the discussion?
So
What did you find?
The answer is yes, it can occur the initial, medial, and final position.
Okay, what about the second one?
No, the sound sh can appear appear in the three position.
Okay, so the answer is no. Yeah?
Yes, it's no.
Okay. And what about the last one?
The third answer is the sound sh is widely distributed in English. It occurs at the beginning.
At the
Example
beginning.
sheep. In the middle, example machine.
Machine.
And
Yes.
at the end of word, example fish.
Fish.
It often appears in words borrowed from friends or in word containing in the spelling patterns shun, or sea.
Okay.
Example nation and ocean.
Okay. So what's the conclusion from
So for
your analysis?
So for the conclusion is the sound sh has a wide distribution because it occurs in the initial, medial, and final position. It is productive in English and appears in both native and borrowed vocabulary.
Okay. Thank you so much, Atik. Let's give applause. Next one. Group 2, please. Okay. Please present your analysis.
So we found 10 words that containing the sound of the, this, that, these,
Okay.
those, they, mother, father, brother, weather, and breathe.
Read. Right. Correct. Okay, next, for the discussion questions, does it appear? Does all of them appear in the every position?
Our answer is yes. It can occur in the initial, medial, and final position.
Okay, what about the second one?
The second one, our answer is no. The sound the is found in all three positions, although final position is less common.
Okay, final position is last common. How many words that you find in the last?
Only one.
Only one, which is?
Breathe.
Breathe. Okay, breathe, only one, yeah. What about the last one?
The last one, the sound the frequently appears at the beginning of function words. For example, this, that, this, they, and in the middle, it commonly occurs between vowels. For example, mother, father, and brother. And it's relatively uncommon in the final position. For example, breathe.
Okay. Okay, so what's the takeaway from this analysis?
The conclusion is the sound the occurs in all three positions, which are initial, medial, and final. However, it is most frequently found at the beginning of function words and between vowels in content words.
Okay, that's it?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yay! Okay, do you have any questions before we finish our lesson today? No? Okay. So we're coming to an end of our lesson today, which is the reflection. But before we reflect, let's summarize what we learned today. Can someone say something about what is phonology? What is phonology?
Linguistic which focus on the organization of sound.
Organization of sound. Correct. Okay, so we learned about organization of sound today. Do you still remember the keywords for phonology? There are two. Distribution and patterning. That's right, distribution and patterning. Now, I need your ideas about the class today. So this is the reflection. I need you to tell me one interesting thing that you learned today. Start from this group. Okay, Fitri, please.
For me, the one thing that I found interesting that I learned today is there's a lot of sounds that we need to learn, and we need to practice more about vowels and consonants. Like for example, in English consonants, especially in manner of articulation and in the fricative, for me it's really hard to pronounce the sound of j.
J.
Yes.
Okay, J. Okay, that one is very difficult for you, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yes.
That's interesting, really. Anybody else? No one? Okay, right. So thank you so much for your participation today. It was a really nice class. I'll see you again next week with another branch of linguistics. Thank you so much. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.